During the
59.
Magic Jam. Don't have it here tonight. And we'll, next time, make this official. So for now, call to order. Good to see everyone here. Could you raise your hand if you got, or give me a plug now, raise your hand if you got the email. When did that go out? Monday, Sunday or Monday. Okay.
I'm still not on the email list.
Okay, that's fine, that's fine.
There's a reason for that, I'll tell you.
Lucky you.
If you could clearly write down email, phone number, and name.
I don't think I get your emails, is this a different?
Could have been. Well, yes, it was actually.
Exhaustive list on it.
Yeah. So, try.
Having trouble finding Moto. He's the guy who,
I'm not sure that's whole months.
yeah.
Busy?
Yeah, school.
Too busy doing the Las Vegas strip or something.
Moto on the strip. All right, and we don't have too much business tonight. I'll just go through a couple things. We are having the Magic Comedy competition tonight. And I figure maybe we'll do a little talk business, a little talk about maybe Magic Jam, take a break, come back, and do the competition. I'm curious, how many are in the competition tonight? Show of hands.
All right.
Not everybody on at once, holy shit, looks like we
What?
got a winner, ladies and
You,
I've got stuff is something, but it's not really comedy, it's the problem.
okay.
The
The sad guy.
And that's why it's
Okay, John, you're not?
Well, no, I can't anyway.
I was not aware of that. Oh, okay.
Twice in a row.
In fact,
Oh,
in the
you-
mag- in
oh, I didn't know
magazine
you-
Last year, John Edsel was the winner.
Well, I know, yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Also, hello to everyone at home. We are beaming this live, so glad to see you there. I actually don't see you, but hopefully you see us and you hear us, and thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I should have a protocol.
Let's talk about, anyone seen the new David Blaine National Geographic special? There's, I think 4 or 5 series. It's called Do Not Attempt. And it's with National Geographic. He goes on site. Each one's an hour long. And he's gone to Brazil, to Bali, Egypt, and then I don't recall what the 4th one is.
El Salvador.
Is it El Salvador? Is it?
No, just kidding.
Yeah, okay. Oh, fuck yeah. That's hilarious. Sad. No.
It's a prison break.
That's just bad. Oh, man. But definitely worth checking out. Hour long. It's called Do Not Attempt. And
it's on YouTube. At least one of them is on YouTube.
okay, yeah, it's probably migrated over there. I mean, I saw it like on the National Geographic channel, you know, but it's out there, and I definitely recommend it. It's got some good stuff. Just kind of funny. I do certified meditation stuff, and one of the apps that I use is called Insight Timer, and it will always have like a little, quote of the day kind of thing. And the other day, just on a lark, it came up and it said, bear with me just a moment.
Did not quote David Blaine.
No,
I get a new app.
no. It says, magic becomes art when it has nothing to hide. I thought that was interesting, and maybe
Interesting.
pause, maybe kind of think about
Nothing.
magic becomes art when it has nothing to hide.
Who was that quoting?
That's pretty.
That was by an author named Ben, and then the last name is Okri. Ben Okri.
Cool.
Yeah. And I thought from that, that idea of like just when it becomes so well rehearsed, so thought through, that you see nothing of the thinking behind it. You just see the magic, and suddenly it has nothing to hide, right? And like that's what we aspire to. That's when it becomes an art. So I thought that was kind of cool. Speaking of practicing, I ran into another thing. This was by a quote out of a book by Jamie Grant. And I know not all of us here are aspiring to perform, but I thought this was really good information, so I wanted to get it down there. 3 phases to practicing. Number 1, learn it. Learn it really, really well, whether that's by book, by video, by mentor. Just get it down. Second, practice with 3 safe friends. So, usually the wife is in there, or partner is usually in there. He says, try to do it with 3 safe friends that you can get feedback for. And that can be, us here too, right? It can be a safe place. Hey, how does this look? Whatnot. And then he talks about, then set yourself the goal of Magic Fridays. And wherever you are on a Friday, it could be any day of the week, but if you're still working in the workplace, if you're going to a favorite coffee shop or whatever, and there's like a group of people there, basically just say to them, hey, I'm practicing the art of magic, and every week I'd like to perform 1 trick for you. Should take between 1 minute and 5 minutes, and would you like to see it type thing. He's like, if you work for a group of like 100 people, you'll probably get, 30 performances in or something like that. And it was just a really nice thing. It's just that 1 trick every Friday, and that's how you could really get your chops. And he made the funny anecdote of saying, if someone introduces you and you are a painter, and they introduce you, you come up one day and you say, oh, here's this painting that I did over the weekend. Chances are when they introduce you to someone else, they're going to say, John's a painter. And even though you might, say, guffaw at the idea, to them, you are. And so, his idea of like, if you're showing someone a magic trick, to that person, then you're a magician. You might be a bad magician. So he just said that's where the practice thing came in, right? To just practice that. So I really liked that little bit.
Was this from Approaching Magic?
It was called The Approach.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. The Approach Magic, I think, is David Rico. But yeah,
right.
yeah. And Mel, I found the John's cone magic from last month. It came from March 26th Genie. I think, Mel, you should have received the email. I sent you an email. Your name was on there.
I'll have to look. I'll double check.
Okay, yeah, because I know yours was on there. And what was I just saying? Where did I go? Oh yeah, the cone thing that you had out of Genie magazine. It was from 2016, March 2016, and it was the Forgotten Stars of Magic. So whatever didn't make it into the book, that's what that article was from. And in it, it had the Vernon cone. And if you click on that little icon, that little watch thing, there is a video there. It's a short, fast version of Vernon doing it, but it is there. 2016 Genie. All right, and I think that's all I've got here. Yeah, so maybe for the next 10 minutes or so, if we want to open it up for a share, talk about Magic Jam. Oh, no, hang on, one last bit of business here. This is a really nice thing. I'll pass it off to Brian here.
And so I visited with Bob Eaton a couple days ago, and he has graciously donated the SAM history book that he purchased to the club. And so I guess I will manage it and let whoever wants to borrow it, will fill out a card so I know who's got it, so I know who to chase down if I don't get it back the next month. And that way we can keep it in the club and keep it circulating. So I just wanted to let you guys know that this is available. It's signed by, I don't know, 10 plus or minus past presidents and current president, I believe. So it's kind of a cool book that's got some interesting information. They spent quite a few years putting this together.
Yeah.
I'd love to read that. Thank you, Bob. I believe he's watching, so.
Thank you, Bob.
I'll share that Bob still has his sense of humor. When I visited with him, he had just been visited by the hospice facilitator, nurse, whatever, came by and I said, so what'd they say? And he says, well, they, he or she said that, surprised that he was still alive. Okay. So I don't think they actually said that. That's Bob's sense of humor. So anyways.
At least they didn't say you flashed.
Wow.
So anybody's interested, let me know now.
Thanks, Brian.
No, that was for anybody.
All right. Yes.
Is there anyone here, this is their third time they voted in?
Oh. Yay.
Who could that be?
Yeah. Hey, Brian, we do have, I'm sorry, Jason.
Jason.
Yeah, Jason. Jason's at third time.
Okay.
So, is there anything more formal than a thumbs up?
No, so I guess I would give him the opportunity to step outside. We can vote for him to be a member or not be a member. And if he chooses that he's a member, then he can give me money.
Okay. Sounds like a deal? All right.
How badly are we hurting for money?
Thank you, Mel. Anyone else want to get on the email?
We got over 3 people on
Yeah,
this.
I am on the email. I
Yep.
did put my name on again, so I hope that.
Thank you. Thank you. Will do.
All right. What's his name?
Jason.
Jason.
Yep.
What's the last name?
I don't know.
He has two last names to use for.
Oh, is it Jason?
It's our stage name.
Yeah.
Lucchini.
Yes, Lucchini.
I got it in my
Lucchini. Lucchini. He has great enthusiasm. He's really, shown up. I've noticed he has just like a lot of enthusiasm for the.
creative.
Yeah.
Done some tricks. and marketing.
Mhm.
Does he perform or? Yeah, okay.
Comes all the way here from the coast, so he's
Wow.
definitely got some dedication.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He lives in Lincoln City? It's past Lincoln City. Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
Dang, that is dedicated.
Somebody who wants to get involved.
Yeah.
William,
Yes.
it's Lucchini.
Thank you. Check.
All right. All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Anyone opposed?
Any opposed? All right, motion passed. We have a new member.
Should we put him in a coffin like they do the Freemasons? Put a hood over his head?
Is there a ghost? Send El Salvador. All right. Welcome, new member.
Unfortunately, you were voted in.
Unfortunately, for a checkbook. No, you guys have no.
You know, you can budget. I'll consider that well behind you.
How about for this one?
And Jason, where do you drive in from? We heard it's kind of far away.
Toledo.
Toledo.
Oh, holy!
Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if I'd make this one. I started a new job.
Okay.
Yeah, just started, something that pays a lot better than what I was doing for the last month. So it's closer to home. I happen to have today off and I don't work tomorrow till 5, so I'm like, I'm coming up. So I made it up.
Nice.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Great. Well, congratulations, new member.
Thank you.
That process, get your card out.
Welcome. Thank you, thank you.
Have you signed up with National?
No.
Oh, so that would be the next process, would be signing up with National.
Okay,
They're the ones that would either send us a card to be handed out
okay.
or send it directly to your residence. When you apply, go ahead and reference the same 59.
Okay.
As the assembly as opposed to being a Senate.
Okay, gotcha.
Great.
And if I can share one other thing.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Hocus Pocus website. I don't know if any of you, they're fairly big, probably, I don't know, top 5 or something. I know them kind of, really good family, so I reached out to them about my new version of the penetrating matchbox, and they're gonna buy a couple dozen from me and put on the website.
Whoa.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah. No, I mean, so that was kind of like bucket list thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah, so I wanted to share that with everybody.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's a very clever new twist on an old trick.
You have to perform it for us. You haven't performed it for us, have you?
I have not.
Yeah, we have to.
Would you like to? The other group,
I think a
did.
few.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
the
good.
other group and this last get together, but I don't think I've done, I don't think I've done anything here. I had planned to do the contest, but I forgot about it. I got the new job, I moved back home, I got moved out of the house this next week and a half, so I forgot about everything contest wise.
Fair.
I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make this one if I can come back up. Might be the last time for 2-3 weeks, so.
All right. Well, cool. Congratulations again. All right. So let's go like maybe 10 minutes or so, just sharing thoughts, reflections on the Magic Jam. A lot of good stuff going on. Anyone have any highlights or thoughts or?
I bought a lot of good books from Warren this time around.
You did get some
Did you?
gems.
Yep. He's a collector of like,
A little more esoteric.
yeah, a
Or
little more
cult.
esoteric stuff and weird stuff. And he had several books. Well, he always does, but I bought several of his books on like old confidence games, confidence tricks, and illustrated books of illusions from history.
I want to see that book.
It's awesome.
Hmm.
And
I see
so I've been poring over that and having a lot of fun with that.
Nice.
Bought a bunch of his old pamphlets too. Things that I'd never seen before. Especially like the illustrations of magic from the old times. I mean, I'm sure we're all fans of that stuff. But there are a couple of the illustrators I really, really like, and I saw a few that used this guy, Shields,
Yeah.
Tony Shields.
Hmm.
And so I picked up scarfed those up. I never even heard of them, so that was really exciting for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Tony Shields has a lot of super mentalism.
Yeah, bizarre magic, but he's also a great illustrator.
Mhm.
So
Oh, that's what you're saying, that he does the illustrations?
he had nothing to do with the tricks. He just
Oh.
illustrated them. So
Oh.
that was wild.
Oh, that's cool.
And I also bought a newspaper tear trick that's produced by Axel Hecklau in Germany, which I've been looking for. I've been wanting to buy this trick for like over a year now, a year plus. But he only sells it on his website from Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and it's expensive to begin with. And with the shipping, it was like almost double the cost. I just haven't been able to.
Yeah.
It's just
Did any of those
We did,
videos help you learn the glue up process?
yeah.
Did any of those videos help from that one guy?
No, Axel's videos spot on. So,
I know you were just looking for the actual
Yeah.
video for it.
yeah.
Did you get that from the Pike Place guys?
No, I got it from Seth.
Oh.
He just happened to have it there.
Oh, nice.
Completely at random. It was wild. So I really enjoyed Magic Jam.
I did too. Mike?
I was just gonna say, Vanishing Ink has a product in that has been out of stock for a long, long time. And I believe it's called Miser's Monty. I think that's the name of it. But if you go online, you'll see it right away. It's been out of stock for years. It's a 3-card Monty where one of the strong points about it is you actually turn off the corner. And then when they, pick the card that they think is theirs, instead of the ace, it turns out to be the queen, you know, that type of. The
Mhm.
problem is you have to, every time you perform it, you have to destroy a card, but you get about 25 of them. And they had a problem, they were out of stock on the refills. You could get refills from Card Shark in the Phoenix deck, the larger index, and still do the trick. But it's something you might want to take a look at. It's a pretty, to me, it's pretty, hit you right in the face with a pie, you know, with when they turn over that card, that they actually saw the index come off,
Mhm.
and it doesn't, and it's not their.
Yeah, and he does it very slowly and deliberately. I love it because it's clean. You know,
They
there's
can come out.
no messing around or anything. And I like stuff that doesn't have any messing around. It's quite an effect.
Mhm.
That's why it sold out so fast, yeah.
Mhm.
And they weren't making refills.
Interesting.
But it's a great 3-card Monte. Steve, is it called Miser's Monte or?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's,
Some
you'll
guy's
see
name.
it, you'll see it, I got an
I
email.
watched it today as well, it was an email.
Pardon?
I think From Vanishing sent an email out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
watched it today.
Yeah, I saw it before I came over here.
Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good.
I get a piece of trivia. Oh,
Okay.
do you want to still talk about this thing? Because it's completely off.
Are we guessing your age, is that it?
Huh? I don't have too many more left. I don't know how long. I just out here. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska originally. In fact, I think Houdini was discovered in Omaha performing at the Orpheum Theater, but I'm not sure. There's some stories that was where he was first seen performing. My dad saw him perform, by the way. But,
Really?
Yeah, at any rate, I joined in Omaha and haven't been there for a long time. I have a son there who's not into magic, but, and this is just, I don't know if you have anything around here and something the club might, I don't know, but they have David Abbott's house in Omaha. He lived in Omaha and he wired his house for the talking tea kettle. It's just before, radio was just becoming in and stuff. So his house is wired for it, and he performed in this house. The Omaha Magical Society has just acquired that house, and the way they did it was Penn of Penn and Teller bought it and just gave it to him,
Okay.
turned it over to him. So they're now doing that. So they're going to start working toward it. My son, who was doing some, had a little side act of doing spiritualism seances type of thing. When I saw that, I called him and he put him in contact. He's in contact with him, so he'll probably be performing. They're giving him a room, and they got script writers for him and
Nice.
all kinds of stuff. So, but at any rate, it's getting to be quite a thing. Also, if you happen to be in Omaha, August 20th, Penn is going to be there performing apparently, and they got a fundraiser just to fund this house. But just an interesting piece of little history that you might be interested in. But
Yeah.
Where did you see this? Is this,
well,
email?
what's that?
Was this from like an email?
No, I'm from Omaha, and I've been in communication with my son, and he got tied into this thing, so that's how I begin to find out about all this stuff now. But you can, I think I don't know quite how, if you go on email for Omaha Magical Society or something like that, probably will have, they're just putting it all together now. Nothing's rolling yet, but they're gonna have somebody living in the house to manage the grounds and stuff. And so it's gonna be a big deal. But the interesting thing is, if you've got a house of somebody like that, guys like Penn and Teller will maybe help you out. And
Well, we got a house down here in Albany.
Jerry.
that's what I wanted. Jerry Anderson is what I was thinking of when I
Yeah,
thought.
and it's excellent for fixing up like that. It's got a big keyhole window,
Yeah,
which, makes it distinctive.
but yeah, I don't know, but again, I don't know if you guys are interested in that kind of, apparently Penn or somebody is interested in doing some of this stuff.
Well, Teller wrote the book with the Magic Factory and it's a double volume with, is it House of Magic? Abbott? It's with Abbott's Magic, House of Magic.
Oh,
Yeah. And, So, yeah, he has a very direct
Okay, so he's
love of
maybe.
it. Actually, the red ball that Teller does in the show is inspired by Abbott.
Okay, so maybe he's personally connected with Abbott, and that
Oh,
that
very
may
much
be a
so.
reason. Oh,
Yeah,
that
very
may be
much so.
too, so yeah, that is possible.
I'm slowly working on an Abbott based floating ball too.
Are you? It's gorgeous. I mean, what he did was beautiful. What Teller does is beautiful. All right. Any other Magic Jam insights, thoughts? All right. Well, shall we take a quick little break and set up who's who's performing? John, Mel, okay, good.
I'm not competing for comedy.
I'll tell jokes while you're performing.
Well, I wasn't really gonna perform so much as to
Okay.
show you some stuff.
Okay,
Okay.
Do we want to delay it one?
we could.
We
We do not. We have best or most entertaining card trick for June.
Yeah.
But if we want to,
So we know we've got one interested in participating. Who else would participate if we were to delay a month? Any extras? We got Mel.
I can get something in there, I'm sure. All right. Well, then I make a motion to postpone the Comedy Magic competition to next month. All in favor? Any opposed?
I noticed you had one of you had a announcement in the middle of the month. Maybe in the middle of the month, remind people.
Yes. Yeah, George's been doing great with that. I just eked out one little one, so I'll definitely get that out.
And this Monday too is the show at the Wine Bar. in
Oh, right,
Williams.
yeah. Unscrewed, corkscrew.
Albler, I forget the name of the place.
Yeah.
It's on the PSM website calendar. It's a really fun show. There's only about 50 seats in there. It's not a really big audience thing. It's really fun. And they got a new guy they rotated in, like Magic Castle level magician. I forget his
Right.
name.
Yep.
But,
And they've done that venue.
this is the
before.
third time, I think.
Yeah.
Third or fourth time.
And that's Monday.
That's Monday,
Mhm.
6 to 9. They do an hour of walk around magic in the kind of the wine bar area. And then at 7 o'clock, they do a show for about an hour and a half. And I'm going to try to make it. We'll see. And I think it's family friendly too. So you can bring kids, stuff like that.
Fun.
So we may try to check it out on Monday.
Just, have you gone to the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts to see any magic? They, there's some juggling and some different stuff down there, but there have been some magicians that have come through there. It's that new community center in Lincoln City. I don't know.
Oh, down there, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they just had that
yes.
festival last month.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob from Albany? Yes, I missed it, no, gosh darn it,
Don't worry about it.
you guys know.
5 people
Um,
watching virtually.
I have not, in fact, the last time I wanted to make it, I was up here working, so I didn't get down there. I guess it's a really good turnout.
awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard it's a nice.
They've been doing it for several years now. I think they missed a couple during COVID, but they've done quite a few.
Coming back.
Really good feedback on that. No, I haven't got a chance to catch one of those yet. They just had the one 3 weeks ago or something, not too long ago, right before the jam. I
The
think.
jam.
No, I think I found a place to do some walk around. We have a new hotel and a really high-end bar and restaurant called All Red. It's one of the Hallmark hotels. They just opened and it is beautiful in there. And I talked to a couple people
Sorry, in Lincoln City?
in Newport.
Newport, sure.
Yeah. I'm actually from Toledo, which is 10 minutes from Newport. Lincoln City's actually like an hour from me,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I'm working now, but at least it's not Portland, so I'm technically close to the family, so.
Good.
But no, really beautiful place, and I'm hoping it'll work out. I think I got good feedback from the waitresses, because one of them went to clown school when she was younger and her son wants to get into magic. I'm like, this is
Oh, thank you. Now refer to Yale as clowns.
I've got the staff on my side. All right, so I'm hoping to get into do a little bit more public stuff,
Oh, fun.
flushing stuff out and playing around.
Keep us posted.
Yeah.
William, last night I just was going through all the magic I have on my computer, and I came to a file, called, Murphy's Magic at the Table, okay?
Yeah.
Craig Petty.
Yeah.
I like Craig Petty, and that's why I bought it, but I hadn't looked at it. The very first trick, and I was so tired, that's the only thing I watched, but it was the coins across that it had you either saying WTF or NFW, because, I mean, what you want, he uses two spectators,
Uh-huh.
and the coins across go from one spectator's hand to the other spectator's hand, and he feels the arrival of the coins.
Oh.
It was an amazing thought process, yeah.
Huh.
It requires that you be able to classic palm a coin, but it's not a real, you don't have to use a clean one, because in picking up coins, you can be classic palming a coin.
Sure.
But it's really,
In transit.
it's really, first trick on his DVD, on his video. I just mentioned that for the
Cool.
coin guys.
All right.
Is that the one where he's using the flipper?
That's the one he's using a flipper, yeah.
Neat routine.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a killer. I looked at that, I really said, no fucking way. There's no way. And then when he showed how and the last coin that vanishes, he's actually taking and putting the coin in the last coin into the performer number A's hand. That's where the coins start to go across. He literally puts no coin in the guy's hand, but the power of suggestion has the guy believing the coin is in his hand clenched. And all four coins are now over in the other guy's hand. And he, and so he said, open your hand, and God, it's gone, you know? And then the other guy opens his hand, he's got four coins when he only had three.
Love it.
So,
Yeah, some of these, it's just as much a mastery of technique as it is a mastery of audience control or spectator
Totally.
control. Like, they're so, just like a little marionette, you know, in ways
Yep.
that are.
If you want to see that routine, what he's talking about, it's not the explanation, but if you go on YouTube on Craig Petty and look up,
No,
all
I've
about
seen,
flipper coins or
I've seen
something,
it.
or he's got like a half hour for
He does a
you
lot of
where he talks
flipper
about different ways to use a flipper coin, and he does that.
you know, anytime a coin is produced, like a spectator has two, and it
Yeah,
becomes
that's what
one,
you
or
do, yeah.
three, it becomes two, it's just, there is no other way that I know to do it other than a flipper. And I think going from 3 to 2 is pretty bold. Like the stuff that
Eric Jones.
Eric Jones does, where he puts the flipper open in someone's hand, like hold these two coins and has them pinch them like this and drop them into their own hand as part of the coins across. And
Yeah.
to me, that seems it's a bridge too far for me. I'm not going to put one thing in a spectator's hand, and that one thing is going to be the most gaffed out, gaffety gaff coin possible. I just don't, that's just like,
That's part of the beauty of it, because
He does that
who would
too.
think that you would do that?
I know,
Yeah,
I just,
it didn't work out 100% for him at the show, though, at the Magic Jam.
They sometimes drop it.
She dropped it, yeah.
yeah, so like, you know, I get it, like it can pay off when it does, and rarely would it fail, and he's really good at controlling most people and how,
Sure.
because they have to hold the hand far enough, so it has time to do
Right.
it.
His sight gag with that was.
You know, and if the band gets loose, you've got to maintain it and like make sure it's still snapping. I run the one that's pretty loose. He runs one that's really tight and it comes together pretty quick. But you can hear this like, and again, I know what I'm listening for. Is I can't separate myself from knowing how the damn thing works. But I
The
just,
audience never knows.
I know, no. But I think with multiple coins, you get away because you still hear the other coins clinking and there's.
Right.
But I don't know. Even when if I shake a flipper with 3 or 4 regular coins, I can still tell something in there is not a coin. You know? But they take liberties.
I've seen that done,
And Craig Petty too.
and, where you're holding the coins, where you hand the coins to them, they're not gonna see anything.
Yeah, they don't see anything. Even when it's the only thing in their hand and they're literally pinching it and holding it, and then 2 becomes 1, which then again in my mind
There's
is like
nothing wrong with that.
no.
If they visually see two become one, that's as magical as
It just
anything.
seems
a tough sell.
That's a tough stuff, but like I always thought there was lines that, well, I can't cross that line because then it's too impossible. Because then there can only be one explanation, and it's so obvious, like even if someone doesn't know, they kind of know, like, well, 2 became 1, and he didn't like reach over and steal it out. So obviously 2 are 1 and 1 are 2. There's some equation between those two states of being 2 and being 1.
You're thinking like a magician.
Truly.
So I agree with you though, on one hand, so they should like drop into your hand, you close it, twist, and then come back. And then there's at least some suspicion that you could have done something. But my cousin, when Eric Jones was first doing this and he showed everybody at work, they saw that dropping 2, he talked about that damn thing for a week.
Right. And I've done.
The people
And I
at work.
bet he had no idea.
My cousin
Yep.
and everyone at work,
Yep.
he talked about it forever. He goes, no, they had 2 in their hand and they dropped it, it disappeared, and not once did he
Yeah.
come up with.
No, I
I
talked
think it was a flipper.
after his close-up.
There must have been one coin.
No, after his
Oh,
close-up
it must be a
session,
magnet
I
that
talked to a
holds
couple of the
together.
magicians,
They just-
and they were kind of like, like trying to figure out how it was done. I was like, we could talk about it openly. And a couple were like, no, I don't want to know. And a couple were like, yeah, let's talk about it. And we talked about it. And they were like, oh, they're like, really? Yeah. Like they even still quite didn't believe, like, really, that's how that's done. Like, yeah, that's what's happening.
And I think the more that you're conditioned to, having something in the hand or, whatever, doing something pretty amazing already, and then having that be the last thing, they've already gone down that road with
Right.
you. They're already.
Yeah,
Amazed.
he already got him in.
And he
Why,
does show
why
up for
wouldn't you? Be
Why
able
would-
to
yeah.
do
Like
it?
if that was the only thing he did.
Right. If you came out open with that,
Yeah, hey, I'm gonna turn 2 into 1. Here we go, and then thank you, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
he
Yeah,
does open, he hands out the flipper, he hands out all 4 coins, he goes, here, check those
Oh,
out,
yeah.
and they look them over, so they've seen.
Is that a locking flipper?
it's just really
No,
tight. The
no,
elastic on it's
no,
really
just
tight.
a-
You'd have to really give it a good snap to be able to get your finger in there and open it up.
Just a little nudge. I think it
Um,
just. No, but when they hold them, there's only one
I don't
spot.
touch
you
the
hold
rubber
it and
bands.
it'll open. Anywhere else you touch it stays closed.
Unless you like grab it on the rim and start shaking it to get it to flap, it's just it is kind of rare. But again, it still would be possible. And even now, my internal magician says no, you don't put these in spectators' hands because there's a chance they might figure it out. And like you said, if you do it in your hand, even if I do it
I
right in
was
front
thinking
of
of
it,
have them drop it in my hand, I close it, turn and come back over. Totally, sleeveless.
yeah, you do the turn, you do the little like twitch thing, like oh, I'm like, and then think, oh, he did something when he.
Yeah, because the other way it's like, well, let's work this backwards. There's only one thing that could happen. Somehow there's a magnet that's held them together or something. So I kind of like, I'm with you on that one. I think Harry Jones is a little too.
Yeah, it just sets up a situation in which the circumstances and objects involved are so simple. There's only so many variables to consider. And I think not just a magician, but an average person of average intelligence would, if they thought about it for a second, come to some logical conclusions about what's going on. But then people say,
I've done it in magic a long time, and the lay audience is so different mindset from the magician. The magicians can't even imagine their mindset.
and I've seen a guy do it.
I think a lay audience can visualize and conceptualize a double-headed coin. I think they can they can conceptualize a sun-moon coin.
Yes.
Okay? But I'm sorry, and maybe if they knew magic when they were a kid, they might understand
Shell or something.
the scotch and soda.
Oh, right.
But a flipper coin is just so far beyond the normal experience of a person, they will never ever go there. And even if they somehow do say to themselves, well, the 2 coins must have become 1 coin somehow. That's as far as they will
And the
be
fact that
able to
it's
go.
actual old currency and not like fabricated props. Like this is actually, it's silver and you can feel it and like hold it and it feels less, I guess there's just less room in their mind for the possibility of it being gimmick.
well, I mean,
Something that
Jason's,
happened a long time
if
ago.
all they were doing for a week or a month after that was talking about that, and no one.
They did.
And Eric
Like,
Jones
granted, they
is
just
one
on
of the top
TV, but
performers in
still
the
were
world.
like,
He
they
wouldn't be doing it if it
exactly
didn't
what
work.
They knew.
Yep.
2 became 1 somewhere in her. I mean, and they did. And in my family and everyone I know, I've only got 1, maybe 2 people, and they're both my brothers, who
And even when she dropped the coin, it
I do something for them.
still worked for the artist.
can come pretty close to getting an idea or how it could possibly be done.
Mhm.
Not always right, but they're my tough ones.
Mhm.
And they come up with this stuff, but everyone else.
You were saying no?
Yeah, this happened a great number of years ago. There was an article in the paper. It seems that somebody at the laundromat had found a coin that came apart. And the police were thinking that it must be a way of smuggling drugs. It had made it to the paper that way.
Huh.
I guess you could put some LSD
No concept
blockers
with
in
magic at
all.
Well,
Yeah.
on that note, I used to sell spy equipment, and they did sell.
Yeah.
No, and they do sell, use hollow coins for
Sure.
microfilm. Back, yeah. So,
Fine.
back then, yeah.
I mean, they're spending, you're spending half coins all the time, and they're regretting it.
I spent at least in my lifetime 2 diamond pennies.
You what?
I spent at least 2 diamond pennies.
The Gap. the diamond thing.
Oh, okay.
One side penny, one side dollar.
I got it.
If you use it, it's.
I mean, it's a good trick.
Yeah, I love that track.
Mhm.
Hey, I have something that's kind of tangentially related to magic.
All right.
I recently put up a little free library in front of my house,
Mhm.
and I've been collecting mass market magic books for a long time.
Mhm.
You know, like the Scarney stuff,
Uh-huh.
and like Walter Gibson, and
Uh-huh.
all the stuff that was like
Dover. I mean, Dover
yeah,
has a
the
whole.
stuff that was specifically marketed towards a lay audience.
Mhm.
And so I am trying to keep at least a couple of magic books in this library at all times. That's my goal.
You got a copy of Now You See It, Now You Don't there?
I'm trying not to go like, you know, I don't want someone to just come and take it because they can sell it somewhere.
Oh, right.
So-
It's like a $15 book, I think,
Yeah.
used.
Yeah. So if anybody has any like junky old like William Gibson or books that they are looking to get rid of, I'll take them so I can put them in my library. So they can
Sweet.
share. I want to thank Michael for donating a bunch, like a big stack of books that many of them were magic related, so I appreciate that.
If you want kids' books, though, I mean, man. Get
Yeah,
tons
yeah.
of kids' books. You want books for 6-year-olds.
Got a lot of those too.
Okay.
There's a lot of the stuff like that that's appropriate for adults too, there's the same category. I mean, there was a whole era when they had magic on the back of cigarette packets or things like this. And they had some reasonably decent ideas on there, but if you got them in the hands of magicians, they just totally change.
Well, that spooky tricks in books,
Which one?
spooky tricks that everyone's had from the school library when you're
Mhm. Yeah.
9 or 10, that teaches you how to make a tip over trunk.
Yeah.
100%. I'm like, there's some professional magic in here that they're giving away.
Yeah, and the ashes on the hands, that's in there.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll go.
Ooh, get
Yeah, you
trees.
take a cardboard box and make a tip over trunk.
And it may stimulate some kind of getting the magic, you know.
Absolutely.
That's
Well, Brian, didn't the Boy Scouts used to have a?
Cub Scout, man. Great book.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing that I love when it happens, when I'm doing a lot of kids' birthday parties and stuff, I do a 3-ring linking ring routine. And there's some kid out there says, hey, I've got that by magic, it's got a link ring. And my set doesn't do that. And everyone can hear him talking.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, wonderful,
Yes.
absolutely wonderful.
Love it.
And it's the adults is the same thing, it's just they don't talk as loud.
Yeah, I still wow them every single day with the ball face at the magic shop.
Yep.
Even the ones who know how it's done. They're like,
I do Freddie Can't Rap it. And you know what? I watched the adults back there. They're suckered every bit as much as the kids on that thing. They just don't admit it. You can see it back there.
Did you ever read Arcade Dreams?
Oh, yeah, I love that book.
Yeah, yeah. That's all that kind of dealer stuff.
Yep.
That all set up and then.
All right. Yes, Mike.
Everybody's talking about people knowing what you're doing, oh, that's 2 coins and all that, or this how you do that. You get that off the kids. You can get it from adults too, and sometimes they guess right, but in typical obscuring fashion, when they suggest the actual method, or even if they don't suggest the actual method, if they suggest the method, I always say, 2 coins, one, whatever they just said, I repeat it, and then I go like this, and I say, God, what an interesting idea. I didn't think about that. That's a great idea. Thank you very much. I'm gonna try and use that next time. And then you go on, and so, there's a little obfuscation.
Love it.
It's better than, I'm gonna meet you out back, kid. I'm gonna beat this.
I got something to show you.
Well, it makes you feel good too,
Actually, it edifies, yeah, it doesn't talk down to him. Yeah. Well, since we're not going to have the competition, do you want to have a break and then come back, or you want to perform a little bit, or?
Let's have a little break.
Take a wee break.
Let's take a wee break.
So short break, and then we're gonna have a couple people that'll show us something or perform something, or there will be magic, probably about 10 minutes. We'll see that.
Really?
How was your,
I don't do that, but a friend of mine taught me.
I know you.
So anyway.
Don't lose. It's funny because she was talking to the audience. That's one thing I've been asking. But then you have to get switched.
Someone who loves it so much, they always they keep.
He doesn't know.
Right.
And it's basically, he's so stuck.
So next time.
Double lift, triple lift.
It's crazy.
I'll make it small.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Same guy as Bob.
You have that on a video, or did you buy it on a DVD? You know it.
Yeah.
I wrote it all up.
This last week, every time.
My wife doesn't sell like that.
No, in fact, last week, I was like, even if we haven't done job.
It's very similar to the, I'm not sure what you.
Yeah, I was.
It's a food trip.
I'd like to see the,
Well,
If I told you that, if I told you that I'm a great person, and I said, that's the
It's a versatile.
Yeah, from here.
It's good.
And what's unfortunately here.
No, but I know.
Was it in a file that had more copies of it, or?
Yeah.
The whole DVDs are about.
All right, now I got you.
Well, you might have it on.
I'll bring you the
Well, I probably tell me if I recommend it, I don't recommend things that I don't.
You know, there's.
Yeah, but I remember telling you something that
Even though we had to
get that drink, but I can't remember that being that drink.
Yeah.
By the way, did I tell you
Except
that
the measures.
two videos that are free
I guess.
by Rick Tate, T-R-I-K, yeah,
Too many managers.
and one of them is,
Two of them are regional, this, that, and the other.
yeah, you
But there's a morning manager.
well, you need to go onto their
I
site
get it, but.
and you'll click on
my first
download, you
I
know,
was
you
2 hours
can
late.
do, the purchase price is $0.
I'm the guy that 20 minutes.
Yeah, you'll hit the download, it'll go from the website over to onto your computer, into your download file.
Too. Okay. Somebody else made the schedule. Not her. And they didn't know that. So they put me down.
No, you're not, you can watch it for free on Netflix. But, one of the,
When I left here, I didn't have a
one of the
schedule.
I think it's called Tricks with a Double Back Protector. It's
They didn't know,
a
so
double back protector.
They
The other one is called
Yes,
Tricks.
sir. It was on the schedule. I'm like, That's my first day here. I don't have a schedule.
Well, I'll tell you what you do. I didn't say that. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
Which last
one?
one was one?
I got a freaking car, and I
Could go.
I didn't make it because I know ready?
As long as I make good tips, everybody
And I
has
said,
myself.
it's gotta be leaks, you know. But I couldn't get in the damn car because my leg kept cramping up. I was making Sunday.
I don't make a ton of profit.
Or I might be breaking, but then. And Graves can handle leaks.
Yeah.
But I just had to.
Well, he's talking up this soup. He's talking up this
I'm making a soup. I used to make it.
But it took you.
There was a chef that was in the produce department out at Tino's, or Broadway. And he and I used to talk about menus and everything. I bring stuff, he'd go to labor of love. So he went down to Milwaukee store. But anyway, you take the head of and you put in some water. You don't want to put much water. Well, you could adjust the water later, but you put enough in there. Because when it cooks and it's ready, I mean, it's ready to eat, that's a large chunk of water. You put all of that.
Yeah.
And it pulverizes and it becomes a non-cream. So you can make cream cauliflower soup using the vitamins pulverized cauliflower. And the cream that you also have is small harvest
Is he still on?
Yeah, well, there was 6 people on at one time. There's only 2 right now. So keep it live for those who are still tuning in. 6. We're down to 2.
I'll be right there, John.
I should probably get home.
I think I go, I didn't plan to go home tonight. I either will drive down to Salem or like, what was anything on catching a movie, so I was reading one myself.
Don't want to see an interesting little thing.
What?
Yeah. I've got an interesting, maybe interesting.
All right, lay it on us, man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I gotta get this table out of the way.
Oh, you don't need a table?
It's got a table.
Chairs up here. Stand in front of it.
It's okay.
That's for, just got stampers doing. All right, let's take our seats again and get the show on the road.
Excuse me, Mel. Make a better door than a window. You all right there?
Yeah, part of the show
They can
is
listen to my wife.
set up the table.
Fancy dancy.
It doesn't matter, Dad. They understand.
Yeah, no, my wife's pretty good actually.
My dragging table. Yeah. I was gonna show you, first off, this is a wand that, made during, COVID. Did most of it online when we had our meetings online.
Yeah.
And it was an ongoing project I was doing, so
What kind of wood is that?
And I have to do that for a second.
this one, it's just, I think it was an oak dowel, I'm not sure, it's just a dowel.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha.
But if you feel this thing, feels pretty solid, doesn't
That's
it?
a nice weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice it twists, it spins nicely.
Yeah, that's a lovely weight.
Yeah, and it's, and the weight, huh?
It's a wonderful one.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, yeah. So, I didn't have a ball there, but,
I swear I saw one.
Almost fooled you.
so it would be very lightweight and not feel very substantial at all, except that these tips, this brass tubing, have got split shot lead weights inside it. So I moved the center of gravity, I don't know what you'd call that, but you move it
Center
out to
gravity
the.
stays the same place. You just put
I
the
know, so
the
that's why
mass.
I'm trying to come up with a name, or what would you call it?
mass.
The center of mass is still in the same
No,
place.
the mass itself is out at the end.
Yeah, okay.
Mass is your weight.
Yeah, it's out there, and then I put some,
You made the centrifugal force stronger.
yes. And,
It will spin slower now, right? Since the mass is moving
yeah,
away from
so,
the
and then, you know,
plane.
and got rhinestones in the ends because they nicely reflect light.
Yep.
And my latest endeavor with a laser, I've got a little dragon etched on here. If you want,
Mhm.
it's not much, but you see it there.
Mhm.
And
Oh, yeah.
That's the new toy you were talking about.
Right, so it picks up the light so well, it looks like it's lit up.
Yeah, I know.
I noticed, we didn't even wonder that.
Bing.
Yeah, was talking about getting a laser that you could ride with.
so I've got this. Everybody knows about this one. What's going on? Shouldn't seem level. Okay. This is my Squircle, of course. It's a square and circle, or really more of a cube or a rectangular box and a cylinder. And this fits right over the cylinder, of course, and to make this work, pull out my special wand.
Wow.
Now, this is from, the case is supposedly a Tibetan scroll case, or for prayer scrolls or something, but I don't know. I got it at a Tibetan import shop years ago. But this is the wand. Now, this one, I guess it's red on both ends. And you see it's black on there? That's because it's tarnished. It's silver plated, the tips. And it's got the same kind of thing with weights in it. And very distinctive wand. You're supposed to laugh here. This is the comedy part. It doesn't roll away. One nice thing about it. So, oh. Come on. All right.
That's the comedy part.
This is hilarious. Hilarious.
And so as far as that's gonna go, I think I need to show you that it's indeed, there's nothing there. And, oh, this as well. Frog. I know you guys are so impressed with stuff that I can pull out of a load chamber.
What?
It's
Coming out of the effort. What do you mean?
You know, for kids.
I did miss the load chamber, so I didn't see it.
You didn't see the load
I did
chamber?
not see it.
Okay.
That was good.
Focus, focus. Hey, gotta laugh, gotta laugh. He looks around at me and looks back thinking, oh, come on, Ed. He said there's gold in there. Well, I don't see any gold.
Use that to pick a card.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
Bring that back in June for the most entertaining card trick.
and I've got an assistant up here. I can hand him a wand and, you know, it's got silver tips, right? And then, of course, it's old. What can I say? Very old. And supposed to do that, what, 3 times? Squircle, square circle. Be wibbly jack. You see the load now? It's, and I didn't have any, but usually what I like to do, this is full of gold coins, this sack.
Oh, nice.
I like to get the chocolate coins,
sound like chocolate.
Yeah.
you know, and
Sure.
have my assistant, after I pour them in here. Oh, I forgot. Take this out and I'll hand it to an audience. Well, have my assistant take it over to the, and pass it on to the next person. And the idea is you get everybody connected. Right?
Oh, I
And,
Oh, yeah, that's would be fun for the kiddos.
yeah.
We're not gonna get very far though.
Yeah, and then they can pass these out, which there are clearly more in here than I pulled out of the bag.
Hmm.
Oh, that's because I didn't pull them all out.
Yeah, I have some of the ones like this, but it is like all the little silver things that unfurl when you throw them. But they're so old, all the coils like stayed intact and just went like flying across the room with little.
That,
Like,
my friends, is my square circle.
Done, John. Now, is that the same sort of style that you used with the, that you built with youth program?
Yes, I haven't built any tables with the youth, but the square circles, I would cut out the plywood and the cylinder, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then they would paint it.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, they would fix it up with tapes and whatever to make it pop. And in the process, it's you learn all about black art.
Yep.
Because this is, I mean, there's, you can't see that very well.
No,
No, even well lit and close, it's very
Yeah,
hard to see.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
velveteen. Velvet's got a sheen. Velveteen is cheaper and there's no sheen to it. And
There's some Musso black paint too that's really good for just.
the inside of this is just flat black paint.
Mhm.
And you can get Charlie Sheen as well.
Yeah. But you can feel that. It's, yeah, the velveteen, it's just, it's a mess to work with because every time you cut it, you get these little tiny particles and we're working with glue and particles and yeah, it can be a mess. But that's how it's done. And with black art, you see it's got white around here, bright white, to grab the vision so they don't focus in on the inside part.
But it looks good even when you focus in. I was focusing in and still, of course, my eyesight may not be there.
Yeah, turn it towards me so I can look
Yeah,
right inside.
I didn't see it.
And that's, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it is. good.
Yeah. And this is not the normal load chamber I would use, because this one, so I can do the bag
Mhm.
out the bottom. I usually use like, so, yeah. Black on black, very hard to see, a lot of white stuff around to keep you from doing it. Also, because of the curve, it's difficult to focus on it. What can I say?
Nice. Yeah, beautiful.
Now
And
that,
then the quality of your black, you have to watch the lighting a little bit. If it's real black, you might pick up a shadow if the lighting is hitting it right. And along the edges there. So the
Mhm.
blacker you can get, the better.
Absolutely.
Fix that.
So, yeah, you start turning down the lights and it's even
It's
more.
amazing what you can do when the lights go out.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and you set if you're on a stage, you put the footlights facing out so that they undilate their eyes. And I guess that's what you'd call it. Little tricks like that. You don't want the light behind you. But actually with this, because it's enclosed like that, light behind you is fine. Because it's just not shining in the portal. Now this little iron pot, really I've got it for a different trick. It's for a St. Patty's Day thing with a rainbow streamer.
Gold coins.
Pot of gold. Oh, the right end of the road rainbow, finally.
Halloween.
When you were performing, I was thinking of the Grimm's fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel and how that square circle could look like the witch's house.
Yeah,
You know,
Gingerbread house, yeah.
gingerbread.
yeah, the gingerbread house.
When you start to make one, you be very careful to check your angles and lights and different things. Because the height of that load chamber versus your opening here is very important.
Yes.
If it's not high enough, the kids down here can see between it and that one above. And the reason that the platform underneath, of course, is to eliminate the idea of the trap of the table.
And the bag, bright colors, nice thing to have because you throw all your waste in there and then you just pick it up and walk off stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
No real magic there, just.
Do you recycle your coils or?
Actually, that's for.
No, I don't.
He lets you do that.
You can take that home with you.
That is courtesy of Jim Straight, yeah, well, courtesy of the club, $5, but I got those from him, so.
You can keep that.
Someday it'll be worthless.
Someday it'll be worthless, yeah.
And after it goes
Someday
around
soon.
through a crowd of kids, because you can take a couple of those together and get it pretty long.
Yep.
And
With the tariffs, it's just gone up in price.
so, yeah, it goes around to all the kids and then it usually gets torn into several pieces. But if not, you've got a birthday kid or something, you could make it like a leg and put it around their neck, you know.
Before they had the mouth coils like this, they had garlands that were kind of egg-shaped, about this big around, and about this thick, and they had like a cardboard each end, so you could pull them out. And if you got several, you can just glue the two cardboards together, and pretty soon you've got a mile of garland coming out of something. When you start waving that in the air, it comes out, it looks like you've got a heck of a lot.
I used to get hat coils.
Yeah,
They
I
from the
use those too.
same company, the same thing as this, except they were 200 feet long. They're about this big around.
They're like telegraph
So you-
tape, reel about this big with a hole in it. You knock out the plug, and then when you mount it this way, you pull the thing and it just starts streaming.
Down.
And then what it does, you catch it with your wand and start waving it around. You've got a paper going, 10 feet in each direction away from this production. Works great on a big stage.
Hmm.
And it keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. When you get through, you got a wad of paper you can make a big production out of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very
Another
useful.
one you can do is go what used to be the dollar store. I don't know if you still know that. They have great big rolls. I've never found any that are multicolored, solid color, whatever you like.
Yeah.
And
Does that conclude our demonstrative portion of the evening?
I got it cut off
Yeah.
outside an inch or so.
All right, I think that's it. We will have the
Well,
next
PSM meeting streaming, and then also the next SAM. We're just going to try to stream all the meetings for SAM and PSM. So thank all for joining, and have a good evening. And we will see you second Saturday of next month.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George.
William,
Yes.
don't throw that coil out, use it in your bedroom.